Lalita and the Garden of Her Heart. In a small village nestled between rolling hills, there lived a quiet girl named Lalita. She was known for her calm demeanor and gentle smile. But what people didn't know was that Lalita carried a secret, a numbness that she couldn't understand. While others around her laughed, cried, and celebrated life's highs and lows, Lalita felt disconnected, as if she stood behind a glass wall, watching the world go by. She longed to feel something, anything, but emotions seemed like a distant language she couldn't speak. One day, as she wandered through the woods seeking solace, Lalita stumbled upon a glowing orb nestled in a hidden clearing. It pulsed softly, as if it were alive. Drawn by its warmth, she reached out and touched it. In an instant, a flood of feelings surged through her. A rush of joy, fear, anger, and sadness all at once. Lalita fell to her knees, overwhelmed by the intensity. Tears streamed down her face for reasons she couldn't name, her heart pounding as if it had just awakened. "What is happening to me?" she whispered. A gentle voice answered from within the orb. "You've opened the door to your heart, Lalita. Emotions are the language of your soul. Though they may seem frightening now, they will guide you, if you let them." From that day forward, Lalita's life changed. Emotions poured into her like a rushing river, sometimes exhilarating, sometimes overwhelming. She felt joy at the sight of sunlight filtering through leaves. But moments later, fear would creep in, whispering doubts into her mind. Anger bubbled up when she thought of times she had been ignored, and sadness wrapped around her like a heavy cloak on quiet nights. The intensity frightened her. "How can I live like this?" she cried, clutching her chest. "I don't know how to handle all these feelings." But the memory of the orb's voice stayed with her. "Emotions are not your enemy," it had said. "They are your guide." One evening, as Lalita gazed into the mirror, she saw her reflection differently. Her tear-streaked face, her trembling hands, they weren't signs of weakness. They were proof that she was alive, that she was growing. "I'm here for you," she whispered to her reflection. "Even if no one else understands, I will be your friend." From that day, Lalita began nurturing herself the way she had always wished someone would. She wrote her thoughts in a journal, letting her emotions flow onto the pages. She took long walks in the woods, finding comfort in the steady rhythm of nature. Slowly, she began to accept her feelings, realizing that they were part of her, not something to fight against. As Lalita grew more comfortable with her emotions, she found herself wanting to connect with others. One day, she decided to share her story at the village's storytelling night. She stood on the small stage, her heart racing, and spoke about her journey, about the numbness she had felt, the storm of emotions that followed, and the strength she had found in facing them. When she finished, the room was silent. Then, one by one, people began to clap. A woman approached her afterward, tears in her eyes. "Your story felt like mine," she said. "Thank you for sharing it." Lalita's courage inspired others in the village. She became a source of light for those who struggled, reminding them that it was okay to feel deeply, to stumble, and to grow. She often returned to the clearing where she had found the orb, now a place of peace in her heart. Years later, Lalita reflected on her journey. She thought of the storms she had weathered, the doubts she had faced, and the joy she had found in discovering herself. She realized that her greatest treasure wasn't the absence of fear or sadness, but the courage to embrace them. Lalita's life became a garden of vibrant, living testament to the beauty of feeling deeply. Some days, storms would come, but she knew they would pass. Other days, her garden would bloom with joy and hope, and she would savor those moments fully. Her story became a beacon for others, a reminder that even when the world feels overwhelming, there is strength in every tear, every step, and every breath. And as Lalita stood at the edge of her favorite clearing, watching the sunset paint the sky, she smiled. She had found herself not in perfection, but in the courage to grow. Good night, and may Lalita's journey remind you to embrace every emotion, for they are the seeds of your own beautiful garden.